Hi everyone, thanks for joining this Q&A session. There's quite a lot of people who are going to be joining, so I'm just going to give it a minute to, we all know what Wi-Fi and stuff's like, we'll just give it a minute so that other people can join. But yeah, thanks for being here. If you've just joined and you wondered what's going on with the awkward silence, we're just waiting for some more people to join the call because we've got quite a few people registered and we just want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to join. We'll just give it another, few seconds, maybe a minute. Just like I said, if you joined at the start, so that everybody can join who wants to. Thanks for those of you who are here. Thanks if you've just joined. Yeah, we're just going to, I might just start in a second because there are quite a few of you on here already. And as you've managed to get on time, we don't want to be wasting your time. So we know there's a lot of questions and stuff that people are going to have. So welcome to this Milton Keynes College Q&A session. Thank you for joining us. I really hope you've had a great summer and you've had a chance to relax. But it's results day on Thursday, isn't it? So I'm sure you might have some questions about what's going to happen next. And that's where we can help. That's what this session is designed for today. So my name's Rebecca. I'm part of the school's liaison team at the college. So you might have seen me coming into your school over the last year. I'm joined by my colleagues, Kay and Amy here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and they'll give a bit of an overview about what questions they can answer for you and how they can help you so you know what questions you might want to ask. If you do have any questions at any time, you can just put them in the Q&A box. We've got quite a lot of people who've joined this call, so if we get similar questions, we might just group them together and answer them at the same time. But please, if you feel that your question hasn't been answered properly, then please do ask it again. The other thing to say is that we are recording this session. We're not going to be able to answer any personal questions today. So if you've got any questions that are really specific to your situation, then the best thing to do is to email ineedsupport@mkcollege.ac.uk. We'll put that in the chat so you can see it. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions you have about what happens next, what happens on results day, how you enroll, starting with us in September. Kay and Amy really are the experts, so you should make the most of having them here and being able to get your specific questions answered. So now I'm going to hand over to my colleague Kay and ask her to introduce herself and give you an idea about the kind of questions she can answer for you.
Hi everyone, my name's Kay and I look after all the admissions and I look after the bursary. So I will be able to answer any questions about what you do when you've got your results, how you enroll, what happens if you haven't actually put an application in, what happens if this is the first time that you've had anything to do with the college, around what happens if you've applied for more than one course, those kind of questions. I can also talk to you about what sort of bursary support, what financial support we may be able to give you when you come in as well. So that's a little bit about me and what the sorts of things I can talk to you about.
Perfect, thanks Kay. Amy?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name's Amy. Part of my role, I oversee the services around additional learning support or SEND. So if you have an education, health and care plan, or if you've got any barriers to learning at all or any challenges with your learning, then it will be my teams that you're talking to. As Rebecca has said, the best thing to do outside of this session, if you have any ongoing queries or concerns of a specific nature, is to email ineedsupport@mkcollege.ac.uk. And again, we'll share that in the chat. What I always say in these sessions is it's best for us to know as much as possible about you as an individual. So hopefully you've told us on your application if you've got any additional needs or interview. You can do that on enrolment and on your course. But the more we know, the better equipped we are to support you. So as I say, I oversee SEND, but that also includes our wellbeing and resilience team. So again, if you've got any queries around that kind of area, and safeguarding and behaviours as well. So anything related to any of that, please do ask.
Amazing. So Steph, who's helping out today, has just put in the chat the email address that we've mentioned a few times. So that's ineedsupport@mkcollege.ac.uk. While we're on that, I'm going to also ask Steph if she can put another thing in the chat, which is our Next Steps webpage, because this is another really, really useful resource for everybody. So it's www.mkcollege.ac.uk/next steps. And you're going to find all the information you need to know there about, you know, what happens on results day, when you're going to start coming to college, induction, things like that. So that's really helpful. Now, nobody's put any questions in the Q&A yet, so I'm just going to start off with a question that I know if I was in year 11 and I was waiting for results day, I would want to know, and that is, Kay, I think you might be the best person to answer this one. What happens on results day? I've gone to go and get my results. I know what they are. I've got them on email. What do I do next? I know I want to come to college. What happens next?
Okay, so it depends whether you've already put an application in with us or whether you haven't. So let's assume for a minute that you have put an application with us. You've been through, you've had your interview, you've had an offer, you've come to the discovery day and so on. So in nearly every situation, if you're between, you know, if you're in year 11, you will be sent a link which will appear in your inbox on the morning of results day. So on Thursday morning, it'll appear in your inbox about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. It'll be there for when you've got your results. You will come back, you will click on that link, and then you'll fill in the form, which is basically how you enroll with us. Now, during that enrolment, you're asked to upload a photo, which would be like equivalent to a passport photo. We don't want any filters. It has to be you, very much like the passport picture. That's to go on your ID card. And you'll also be asked to upload a copy of your results slip, because you'll all be given a results slip, no matter what school you go to or whether you're with us or whatever, you will get a results slip. You take a picture of it and then you upload it as part of your enrolment. So that would be the vast majority of you. So that means that you will have a kind of provisional enrolment. You will get an email which will give you the link to the next steps page, which is what Rebecca was talking about earlier. And then over the next few days, you'll get a call from your depends what study, you know, what area you've asked to study, but you'll get a call from the deputy head or the course team leader or whatever, just talking through your results. They'll just double check that you've got what you need to get in, whether you've got your English and maths in particular. And then if you do have your English and maths and you've got all the entry requirements for the course that you applied for, you will be enrolled at that stage. So that will be for the vast majority of people. If you've applied to do A levels with us, or if you've applied to do any level 1 course, so that's probably construction or engineering in particular, or the Skills Academy, you will be sent an email this week. Probably it might even have been yesterday or today, and it'll tell you to look on the website and to book on to one of our advisory days. So we'd like you to come in and enroll in person. But you'd be doing the same thing. You'd be bringing your results slip. So whatever you do, you're going to get your results. And if you're doing one of those courses, we want you to come in and enroll in person. So that is basically what happens on results day. If you're new to us and you've not had an interview, you've not put in an application, you just thought, oh, I might want to come to college, I suggest that you go to the college website and look for book on advisory days, and that's open now. Book on a session and then come in and see us then, and then we can see you all, get the curriculum to talk to you, and we can get you all enrolled all at the same time without having to put an application in.
That's really great. So hopefully the person, we've had an anonymous guest that's asked how and when do I enroll. Hopefully that's answered your question. So check your inbox on results day. So that's on Thursday. When you've got your results from your school, then you'll either be able to enroll online if you've already applied to us, or book for an advisory day to come in, and whatever you do, you're going to need to bring those results with you. Or
you will. And the advisory days run from the afternoon of results day right through to, I think it's the 3rd of September. So you don't feel you have to come in on Thursday afternoon. You know, we're taking sort of enrolments. The sooner the better, in that some courses get full, but certainly, you know, the afternoon of results day, the Friday, the following Tuesday, the Wednesday, there'll be, you know, lots of places and times for you to book on if you can't make it on the Thursday afternoon.
Perfect, thank you. Eva's asked a really important question that I'm sure quite a few students will be wondering about, or maybe if we've got any parents and carers joining as well. How soon can a student apply for bursary? What happens around bursary? Kay, sorry, another one for you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So really as soon as you've enrolled. So it's done online. Again, it's through the next steps page, which you can have a look at now. But you need to have enrolled on a course. But as soon as you've enrolled, you can put in your application. You will be asked for various bits of evidence to prove sort of low income, or benefits, and it explains it all as part of the application process. But you can do it as soon as you've enrolled. And the bursary team will be available to talk to if you do come in on advisory day, so you can have a chat with them. But it's all done online, and then you will need, depending on when you get your agreed bursary, we may need your bank details, because it may be that we have to do some payments into your bank. Not for everyone, it very much depends. But the key is, as soon as you've enrolled, you can apply for bursary again online.
I think because we work at the college, we know what phrases like enroll and apply and stuff mean. But I think I'm just going to quickly say to people, so if you're wondering what enroll means, essentially that is you choosing a course at the college and deciding to come to us. So some people might have applied to different colleges, different sixth forms, or for more than one course with us. So what we mean by enroll is you're saying, I've picked I've applied for 2 courses at the college, but I'm going to pick this one, or I've applied for sixth form and college and I'm going to pick college. So that's what we mean by enroll. So Eva, hopefully, like I said, that's answered your question. You can apply for a bursary once you've enrolled with us. So once you've picked and said, yeah, I'm definitely going to come to college on this course, that's what enrolling means.
And that's a good point, Rebecca, because quite a lot of people apply for more than one area, because you know, people might not be sure. They might think, well, I don't know, I might want to do childcare, or I might want to do health and social care, for example, and they put into two applications and might have had 2 interviews even, and some people might have even come for 2 discovery days on different courses, one in Bletchley and one in Sheffield Way, and that is fine. However, you can only enroll on one course. That's the rules. And you can't enroll at school and at college. You have to decide. So after your results, you have a chat, you have a think, and then you can only actually enroll on one. Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly pick up and answer this one. So students ask, they want to know what happens after studying A-levels at Milton Keynes College. So we've got a careers team at the college, as well as the tutors who'll support you. So if you decided after studying A-levels or any of our courses that you wanted to go to university, then we can support you with your UCAS application, or you might want to come and study an HE course, which is a uni level course with the college. So essentially, we support you with whatever your next step was after college. But we're going to focus back on the questions for the students who are going to be coming to college. So you're jumping one step ahead there. So hopefully that's answered that briefly. But yeah, once you're at college, then we can support you with whatever your next steps are. So let's see what other questions we might have. Okay, so question here. What happens if I can't make it to an advisory day? Are there any mop-up days afterwards?
There are, but we do have a lot of advisory days. So we do have 4, 5, we've got about 8 advisory days, and including 2 later evenings. So the 2 Thursdays, so this Thursday the 22nd, and then the following Thursday, we are open until 7 in the evening. So I would very strongly advise that you try and come into one if you can, because that's the way that you will actually get to talk to the curriculum staff, and then you'll be able to enroll. I mean, if you've already putting an application with us, you might not need to come in, and that's fine. And you can do it on the phone. But otherwise, I would really strongly recommend that you do try, just because our courses do get full. And so, you don't want to leave it too long, because the course you wanted to go on might end up being closed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
a question here that, again, I think probably is playing on quite a few people's minds, so I think this one will be really relevant to answer. So what happens if you get your grades and you realise you haven't got a 4 in English or maths or both? What happens about your applications to the college? I don't know who wants to answer that one.
Yeah, I can answer that one as well. First thing is, don't panic. We have an awful lot of students who don't get their grades. You will not be the first student that we've ever had in the college who hasn't got their expected grades. So that's the first thing to say, is really don't panic. We can have a look and see what we can do for you. If you're enrolling online and you haven't got your grades, you've got 2 choices. You can either carry on with your enrolment and upload your your exam slip, and it will be picked up with curriculum, and they'll phone you and you can say, look, I haven't got my maths, or I haven't got my English, or whatever. And what they'll do is they'll ask you to come in and talk to us. Basically, they'll ask you to come and book on an advisory day. So you can either do the enrolment knowing that you haven't got the grade and you're going to be asked to come in, or you can ignore your online enrolment that you've been sent and just book a session and come in and see us. So because we offer lots of courses at different levels, it might be, for example, that you wanted to do engineering at level 3, but you haven't got the maths, because there's quite a lot of maths and engineering. You can come and talk to the engineering team, and they might say, look, you can come and do your level 2, which is sort of equivalent to the GCSE type level, but you can do your maths alongside it. So we can help you to resit your maths. So you would resit your maths while you're studying level 2, and then the next year you can progress on to level 3 if you've passed your maths. That's an example. It happens across. So you really wouldn't be the only people not to have got your maths and English. We've got a lot of students who come in with very high maths and English grades, and we also have some students who struggle with one or the other. And we've got a lot of students who resit. So I think the message really is, book on, come and see us, come and have a chat, and we can look about what your options are for next year.
And I think Kay said this before, but the thing you're looking for on our website is advisory day. So that's what it's called, when you can come in and actually talk to staff and find out what your options are. But the other thing that Kay said that's really important is, please don't panic, because we know that you might have been predicted really amazing grades for maths or English, and then something happens on your actual exam day and you don't get it. And so, yeah, please don't worry. So somebody here has got a bit of a concern because they missed their discovery day because they were away. And so they're worried that they won't know where to go on their first day and what they need to bring and where and all those other things. So I don't know if anybody wants to quickly answer that one, or yeah.
I mean, ultimately, again, we have the induction week commencing the 9th, so you will get to learn about your course and other bits and pieces there in terms of getting timetables and things like that. So again, as Kay has said, there will be lots of people that didn't make Discovery Day. If we look at the amount of people that came to Discovery Day and then the amount of people that are actually going to enrol, there will be lots of people. So you're not alone. Don't be feeling that it's only you. So when you come in for induction, you will find out those kind of details. So there's no need to be overly concerned about that. We've got you, and it will all be okay.
And the other thing to do, we've said it before and we'll keep saying it, is to have a look on that next steps page on our website. So Steph's put it in the chat, Kay's mentioned it, I've mentioned it. So it's mkcollege/next steps. And then if you have a look on that page, it's going to tell you when you're coming on your first day, where you're going to go and all the rest of it. And just be really reassuring, because, as we've said, lots of people won't have been able to make their discovery day. So that's not going to be the end of the world. Somebody wants to speak to someone on the phone about their son's enrolment, so wondering who do they contact. So that would just be the main, if you phone the main college switchboard. Again, have a look on the next steps page and see if there's any information that you might be able to find out there. But as I said, we're not able to kind of go into personal information on here or personal queries. So yeah, contact the college and find out. If it's an issue that your son, that the person who's asking this question might need extra support, again, we've mentioned this email address, but email ineedsupport@mkcollege.ac.uk and somebody from that team can pick that up as well. Somebody's asked here, what happens if we don't have a results slip because we aren't doing GCSEs? Don't know who might want to pick that up, if there's anything you can
If you've already made an application to the college and you've been offered and you've already got your GCSEs, you will be getting emails from us inviting you to enrol outside. So, for example, if you've applied for access to HE, for example, and you've already got your GCSEs, those emails are already going out and asking people to enrol. It might be that you're, I don't know, doing a completely different course where we're going to invite you in, because it might be that you want to study a course, but we need to just see if we can get funding for you. So you might have to come and sign a form to talk to us about what your previous qualifications were. But if you haven't had anything and you've already put an application in and you've had an offer, then just contact the admissions department, and then they can have a look at your situation, because we're trying to enrol as many people where they've already got their GCSEs, as many as possible before Thursday, because after Thursday we get very, very busy with people who get their GCSE results. So we've got lots of enrolments today. We had enrolments yesterday. We've got enrolments all the time at the moment. So if you haven't heard anything and you think you should have done, please just contact the admissions department and they can have a look and look at your application.
So again, another question here I'm just going to quickly answer. Marie's asked about the fact that she's going to be away on holiday on results day, so has already applied, had an interview, so presumably can enrol online. Yes, absolutely, Marie, that's the perfect thing to do.
Yeah.
Enrol online for motor vehicle, and then that's the best thing. Somebody has asked here, is it ever too late to change your mind and pick a different course? What happens if, like, you've year 11, you've had all the year 11 craziness of exams and mocks and all the rest of it, you've had that summer to think about it, and now you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I've picked the right course. What would either of you recommend for a student in that situation?
Do you want to?
I mean, again, as we've said before, you won't be alone in this.
No.
And even at the point where even if you've got to the point of enrolling and you've started your course, we have the first kind of half term, you do have an opportunity to move courses. So it's part of our right choice review period. So if you're having those kind of concerns at this point, or thoughts at this point, again, you can book into an advisory day, come and have a conversation with us, because what's really important is making sure that the decision you make after this point is the right one for you. So you might want to come and have a conversation. It might be that you're thinking, we use the example we had earlier around childcare, and actually that's not where my destination lies. I want that to be health and social care, but it'd be a good idea to talk that through actually and make sure that's absolutely the right thing for you. So now is the time then, again, book onto an advisory day. If you haven't made an application for that, say it was childcare, now it's motor vehicle, and you haven't got 2 applications, for example, again, you can come in and we can look at that. So as Kay says, there'll be a lot of people who never did apply and now they want to be looking at it. So you don't need to put an application in, you book onto an advisory day and come and have those conversations. And as I've said, you might do the first couple of weeks and think, oh, this isn't for me, this wasn't what I thought, and you can have the conversations with your tutors or with the careers team or whomever and look at switching courses. So there's opportunities to do that right up until the first half term.
The thing that I would say, and I think you were kind of saying this as well, Amy, is the sooner, if you are having a bit of a wobble and you think it isn't the right course for you, please say something sooner rather than later, because obviously the further it gets down towards that October half term, the more difficult it's going to be to change. And after October half term, then it's really difficult to change. So we've got an anonymous query. Is the EMA allowance still available?
I think it is. I don't think it's been. No, I don't think it's been available for quite a long time.
Okay, well, that was a quick one. But the bursary team will know what financial.
So in terms of bursary, shall I do a quick recap on bursary? So we've got different bursaries that are available for students depending on your age, and it's all on the next steps page. You'll find everything, but we've got some bursaries if you're 16 to 19, for example. If your household income is less than £35,000, you may well be entitled to some financial support, and that will support you things like food So you can get some food in our refectory for the days that you're timetabled to come in. If you've got kit or uniform, we might be able to help you with that. If there's any trips that you've got to do as part of your course, we might be able to help with that. Travel, if you live more than 3 miles away from where you're studying, we can support you with an Arriva bus card if you're on a bus route, for example. So there's quite a lot of things that we can do to support. If you're an older student, we do have bursaries, and we can help with childcare for some people as well. So there's quite a lot. You know, have a look through and see what we can offer. There's different ranges of bursaries for you.
We've got another anonymous query here. I think I'm all right to answer this, but let me know if I've forgotten anything, Kay or Amy. So somebody querying about doing hairdressing. When should they buy the kit? Do they have to wait till they've started or buy it now? So again, all the information about kits will be on the next steps page. We don't ask anybody to buy anything until they've enrolled, so until they've chosen to come to the college and have signed up for one of our courses, because obviously you might change your mind or decide to do something different. So but yeah, all the information will be on that next steps page, and we put new information on there as it becomes relevant to you. So yeah, just that / next steps page is really the one to look at. Right, let me have a look through the questions. So, question here from Charlie, when is my first day? So, I think Steph's put in there, but yeah, Charlie, have a look at the next steps page, because it really depends on what course you're doing. But if you look at that next steps page, Steph's put the link in there, then you'll be able to see which course you're doing and what day it is. But we're really getting students in from the week commencing the 9th of September. So for 2 days during that week, you'll come in, you'll get your timetable, you'll get your pass, you'll get all sorts of information, help to enroll onto our different systems and things like that. So
slightly different, Rebecca, for Skills Academy students, yes, and also for A levels. The details are on there, so we're kind of talking it across everyone, but it is very slightly different depending on the course. So definitely you need to check that out. But that week is the week that you would be starting to do something, either in all week or for a couple of days. But yeah, that's the week.
So sorry, there's loads of questions, so I'm just working out which ones we haven't answered yet. So how late can a student make an application to college? This is what Eva's asked.
We're not actually taking any applications as such. So if you try and click apply at the moment, you'll just be directed to come and book into advisory day. The reason we're not actually doing the application as such is there's no point filling in 2 forms when you don't need to, because you have to do an enrolment form and an application form. And it's just easier now. When we haven't got time to interview people, so just you can click through apply now, but it will tell you to book onto an advisory day. They finish on the 3rd of September. Yep. So I'm going to say really up to the 3rd of September is kind of the latest. However, with the just be aware that if we've got very in demand courses that are getting full, we will be closing them. We will get a bit of a waiting list, and then we will close them, because we can't keep taking people on the very popular courses, and some of the courses do get full quite quickly. So although the 3rd of September is the last, I can't 100% guarantee there would be a place on your first course of choice by the 3rd of September. It's really difficult for me to say, because until everyone starts enrolling after the results, I can't tell you. But we've obviously got students who are already with us who might be sort of wanting to stay with us. So we've got all those students as well as the new ones. So I would say really try and come in as soon as you can. Don't have to panic and all rush down here on the Thursday afternoon when you get your results. But I would say, the sooner the better, just because if a course has reached capacity, then we would be closing it.
Mm-hmm. So a question here from a student who's obviously moving to the UK from overseas. So I already have my results from my secondary school education in my country. So what do I do on results day? Is this a case, Kay, where you said if somebody's already got their results and they should be contacting us now so we can get them sorted sooner rather than later?
Yeah, if they've put an application in, that should all have been looked at during their interview. And if they haven't put an application, they'd need to book onto advisory day anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Another question here about what do I need to bring on my first day to college? Again, you're going to hear us saying this all the time. Have a look on the next steps page. I mean, bring the obvious stuff like, you know, pen, pencil, water, something for lunch or some money. But yeah, if there's anything specific you need to bring, then that will be all on the next steps page, or you'll find out when you're on your induction. So yeah. So Joe's asked a question. If they've applied and been accepted on 2 courses and we choose to enrol on one, do we have to let the other course know that we're not accepting them, or does that automatically happen at our end? Is that something that we sort out?
It does automatically happen at our end, because you can't enrol on more than one. If you know now that you're definitely not going to do one, then please do just drop the admissions team an email, and then they can take you off so you don't end up with kind of too many emails. But it happens at our end, so don't worry. If
you've applied to us and a sixth form, then you might want to let the sixth form know if you decide to choose us. But yeah, if it's 2 of our courses, then you're fine. When will the course start dates be confirmed? This is on that induction week, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they all start the following week. So no matter what course you're doing, the week of the 9th, you might be in for 2 days, or you might be in all week if you're a skills academy. And A levels is slightly different. But no matter what course you're doing, they all start full-time teaching on this. Is it the 16th? Yeah, 16th.
So if your course runs, for example, on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, your first day will be the 17th, but week commencing the 16th, you would then be with us full-time.
So on the next steps page, when it tells you when your 2 days of induction are on the week of the 9th of September. So you'll be coming in 2 days during that week, and that's when you'll find your confirmed timetable and everything out.
Yeah.
So this is about somebody's asked if a student starts sixth form, so they decide they've applied to sixth form, and then they decide that it's not right for them, can they come to college? Can they move to college? I think this is going to be a case of if we've got capacity still, because like we said, some of our courses fill up. But I would say, and feel free to add anything else or change what I've said, correct me, Kay or Amy, but it's going to be the same as we would say to our internal students. The sooner you let us know if you want to come to college, the better. We can't guarantee you a place, but we will do our best.
Yeah, absolutely. So the sooner the better. There will potentially be the opportunity in the middle of the 2nd week of September for anybody who has started sixth form who has changed their mind to come in and talk to us about what's available, but I can't tell you which courses will still have places then.
I think the likelihood is that A levels will probably be at capacity, so it would be courses at level 1, 2 and 3 that are still available.
So we're quite used to hearing about people taking a gap year after they've done their A levels or level 3 course, but somebody here is saying, what happens if they decide to enrol next year instead of this year? And also, what if I haven't done my GCSE? So there's sort of 2 questions there. So what about if somebody says, oh, I'm going to take a year off after my GCSEs? What's your advice for that person?
Don't. Because you've got to be doing something. The law is that you need to be doing education or an apprenticeship or a full-time job. So I mean, if you want to take a year out and get a full-time job, then that's slightly different, I guess, but you have to be doing something. You have to, there's very specific circumstances when you're not doing kind of education. You can't just have a year off and have a nice gap year and travel. It doesn't quite work.
And it's also
like that.
It's your window when you're getting the opportunity to study without having to pay for it. So that period directly after school is your opportunity to do that, and you don't want to get to 19, 20 and be kicking yourself because you wasted that opportunity, if you like. So we would strongly advise against that, because then you're referred to as NEET, not an education, employment or training, which is not advisable.
No,
or really allowed.
that's a really
Absolutely.
key thing to bear in mind, that obviously, yeah, you get those 2 years after your GCSEs where the government are going to pay for your qualifications or apprenticeship, whatever. So if you don't take it up then you're going to miss out on that. But also
we do understand kind of the want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's worth remembering as well that the way that college operates is very different to school. So we have the kind of the same expectations around behaviours, but in terms of the way our timetable is structured, in terms of that kind of free flow, and you have more time to yourself. It's not that regimented 9 till 3. So if you're sitting there thinking, as Rebecca has said, that final year is a lot for all of you. Your mocks, your GCSEs, your formal exams. So I can fully appreciate after 6 weeks off, there might be some people thinking, oh, I just haven't got it in me. However, college is very, very different to school. In lots of positive ways. Again, as I say, and I will say this when you arrive with us, behaviours, we still have those expectations, but in terms of the way that you are treated as a more adult learner in a more adult environment, it's a very, very different experience. So as we've said, really encourage you to take the opportunity now to come and get additional education with the college.
And we have really high aspirations for our learners as well. So, you know, we want, I'm not saying schools don't, but, you know, we want you to succeed and we're going to support you to do that. So, yeah, come and see how it feels coming to college. So again, then the second part of that question was, what happens if I haven't done my GCSE? So maybe somebody who's in year 11 and for whatever reason hasn't even taken their GCSEs or yeah, what would you recommend for that kind of person?
Again, I mean, there will be some students, as you said, who will have had time away from education in year 11 who may not have done those exams. So we do have courses that are kind of geared towards that situation. There are entry requirements for all of our courses. However, there will be flexibility up to a point with those lower level courses, so what we call our skills academy courses. So it's assuming you've already applied for something, but for whatever reason you haven't taken your exams, or equally, I would imagine if you've applied previously and never intended to do exams, we'd be aware of that, I would anticipate. If you're coming to us fresh now and didn't do your exams and you've got queries around that, it would probably be worth, again, booking onto advisory day, but equally emailing I need support at mkcollege.ac.uk, because it's possible, if you haven't done your exams, that might be to do with your experiences in school. You may not have been going into school, so that's something we can look and unpick with you.
Amazing. We've got some question about apprenticeships. We've got some amazing apprenticeship opportunities available at the moment. I would suggest have a look on our website for the apprenticeship section for anybody who's thinking that might be an opportunity for them. An apprenticeship is a job, so they go live at different times. It's something that we would support students to go into if they come study for us and we've got an apprenticeship in it. You know, they might want to come and study at college and then go into an apprenticeship. But yeah, have a look on our website. This question here is about what would their day for going into the college to do their learning that then they would take into the salon. I don't think we can give that level of detail, but if you come to an advisory day, our apprenticeships team will be there, so you can kind of ask them about those questions. But yeah, have a look on the apprenticeship section of our website because there's lots more information on there.
And equally, sorry, Rebecca, just we've got the apprenticeship team coming to the advisory days, because to go back to one of your questions about, well, I've changed my mind and what I want to do, it might be that, you know, you were going to come to class and now actually you'd rather do an apprenticeship, and that's absolutely fine. And we've got, you know, we do a lot of them. So still book on and then come and have a chat with the apprenticeship team. So, you know, it might be that's. Once
you've got your grades, that makes it easier. We would never suggest that somebody didn't apply for college or sixth form or whatever and just apply for apprenticeships, because as I've said, an apprenticeship is a job. You might not secure it. It's not the same as a college course where if you get the grades, you're definitely going to get a place if you've been offered a place. So yeah, don't have it as your only option, but definitely come and speak with the team and bring your results with you, talk about why you're interested in that apprenticeship, and then they can support you. Somebody said, can I enroll online instead of coming in once they've got their GCSEs? Yes, absolutely. You'll get an email on results day. So on Thursday morning, you can enroll online once you've got your grades.
If they've already been with us, if they've
already. Sorry, I should have said that.
No, I was going to say, if you've already put an application in, you've come in, you've got an offer, You can only enroll online if you've been offered a course, and you'll know you have because it would have come through as you get a pack of information and you get an email, and then you'd have been invited to Discovery Day. So if you've had an offer, yes, you will get the email inviting you to enroll online. If you haven't been in that process, then unfortunately you can't just kind of click onto the website and enroll. We need to make sure that you've got the right sort of guidance and information to make sure that you're being offered on the right course. So then you would have to.
And Skills Academy and A levels, you have to come
Skills
in.
Academy and A levels, even if you've been offered those, you need to come in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be an advisory day. So yeah, if you've already applied to us, and then we would have your email address and you would get an email from us on that results day morning. If you haven't, then yeah, book on to come in and see us and have a chat. Somebody's asking about doing a resit while doing a course. The resits we offer are only Maths and English GCSE, and that is if you don't have a 4 in either or both of those. So we would, yeah, that would absolutely be incorporated as part of your course if you haven't got those already. So yeah, you would be able to do that. Just seeing what I knew. As a student who had my secondary school outside the UK, my grades are quite different from the GCSE grades that you get in the UK. What can I do about this?
The careers team can do a kind of a mapping thing. They've got a system that they can log into and see what it's equivalent to. So the best thing to do is probably to try and have a conversation with them. So maybe email
come
them.
in.
Yeah.
So somebody here's asked if they've passed English, Science and Maths in their real GCSEs, but they'd failed English in their mock GCSEs, would I still be accepted? Yes, absolutely. It's your real GCSEs grades that we're going to be looking at. So that's why it's really important that you have that transcript of what your grades are, your kind of official grades from the exam board that your school will send you. That's why it's really important that we see that, because that's what we use to verify what course you're going to be going on. So Malika has asked, is there a confirmed start date for apprenticeship courses? There isn't. They start at different times, essentially, Malika, because they're a job. You come in to do your training on. Generally, it's like 1 day a week in college doing your training, and then you're in your job the other 4 days of the working week. So again, it would be a case of having a look on the apprenticeship section on our website to find out more information about what apprenticeships we've got going at the moment. But again, talk to the apprenticeships team. So either once you've started college, if you're going to be a student with us, or come to, again, you can hear it again, come to an advisory day and speak to the apprenticeships team, and then find out more about whichever one you're interested in.
Apprenticeships recruit all the year round because, as you said, they're jobs. So although a lot of them start in kind of September, you still get people enrolling all the year round, and you can start at different times. It depends on which one you want, but a lot of them you can enroll any month of the year because they're a job and employers need people at different times of the year. Yeah.
So somebody here's asked, they've applied, but they are unavailable for the advisory dates, the advisory day dates. Have they missed their opportunity to join that study course? Again, I'll answer this and let me know if I've missed anything. You can enroll online still. So if you have applied to us, then you don't have to come in. Particularly if you've got the grades you're expecting and the grades you're expecting to get onto the level that you've applied for. So enroll online if you can't come in for an advisory day, but then just make sure that you're aware of the fact that our team will be contacting you, so that you check your inbox. You know, if you get a missed call on your phone or you see somebody calling you, it might show up as an unavailable number. Answer that or listen to your voicemail afterwards and phone back, because that's when the person from that course is going to be phoning up to check that that you've got the right grades and just have a chat with you before actually starting. So does that cover everything, Kay and Amy?
Yeah.
Big tick. Excellent. Somebody here is saying that they have an EHCP and have applied for multiple courses. They don't know what to do next. They have 3 GCSEs, including maths from last year. They're waiting for their English resit result. Can I change course after enrolling if I don't think that it's suitable for them? Amy, I think this sounds like one for you.
Okay, so to recap then, so multiple applications, you've got pre-existing GCSEs, you're waiting on your your result from your English. So
Yeah.
I would imagine that you've let us know that you have an education, health and care plan. So I will speak as if that is the case, and I can move on if that isn't the case. So I would anticipate that you'll have been contacted by the learning support team to have conversations so that we can understand your needs and how best to support you. And you've applied for many different ones. Now is the time, as we talked about earlier, for you to make that decision in terms of which one is best fit for you. If you're unsure, as Rebecca has said, book into advisory day. Now, learning support will be there. So we'll be in the refectory in the Chaffron Way campus for you to have conversations. So we'll either have the SENCO there or the Deputy ALS or whoever else, the HCP coordinator. So if you want to, you can come and have a chat with them first about your, the decision that you need to make. Or you can go and speak to those curriculum teams. Now, if you haven't told us that you've got an education, health and care plan, it's really important that you do, because that we have, there's a bit of an official process that goes on with the local authority where they then enter into what's called a consultation, and we look at how we're going to meet your needs, the level of support you're going to need. So it's really, really critical that we do know that you've got an education, health and care plan. So for anyone else equally on the call that may have one and hasn't told us yet, please just let us know. So that can be by, as I've said before, emailing I need support. If you then was part of the question, if you enroll on it and then you're not sure, was that part of the question as well, Rebecca?
Yeah.
I think. Okay, so again, as we've said, this does happen. So we have people who start on even like engineering and then decide they want to do catering. It does happen. I think, again, considering that you have got an education, health and care plan, it's worth talking to support teams as well about what support would look like on those different courses, because we have teaching support assistants available, we have specialists out of class, we have various different people that can work with you and build a package of support around you. Different curriculum areas look and feel different, and there's different requirements from the course. So some will have a lot of group work, others less so, some will be a lot more practical. So I think it's a bit of it's a joined up approach really between curriculum areas and the support teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you know what you want to do and you've made that decision, great, enroll on that course. If you've told us about your EHCP, great, the support will follow you wherever you ultimately enroll. If you haven't told us yet that you've got an EHC, let us know. And if you're undecided, come and have a chat with us. Okay.
Brilliant. We've got quite a few questions, so this definitely falls under the FAQ category of how many days a week students are going to be coming into college or to do an apprenticeship. So obviously we've got A levels to chuck in the mix now as well, but do either of you want to answer that one briefly and clearly, because it's obviously something that that people want to know?
Like everything, I can't give you a definite this is the same for all courses. So it will depend on the course that you're on. Generally speaking, we try and have people in for between 3 and 4 days. There aren't many people, although there are some who are timetabled across all 5 days. We try and give everybody 1 day when they're not timetabled, because we absolutely appreciate, as Rebecca said earlier, it's quite different from school, and also a lot of the people who come to us have got part-time jobs and things like that. So we try wherever possible to get you in just for the 3 days. However, I would plan for 4. It's not like to be 4 full days, but you will find out on the 6th, but that's I would say between sort of 3 and 4. For apprenticeships, it's different model. You spend 80% of your time, in work, and 20% of the time not in work. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're in for the 20% of the time. So some apprenticeships, they come in 1 day every week, for example, but then you're working the rest, you're getting paid. It's a job. So that is a full-time, it's a full-time thing. It's just that you might be in work for 4 days and here for 1 day, or some of them do the kind of model where you're in the work all the time for a month, and then you're in college every day for 2 weeks or something. It just does depend on the apprenticeship. So in summary, apprenticeships are full-time. They're a full-time job and or training. It doesn't really matter. You would be out of the house for 5 days a week. For us, between 3 and 4, but some might be 5. Nothing would be 5 all day every day. And if you're doing No, even then there wouldn't be.
Okay.
Not completely. And T levels, and we haven't really mentioned T levels, but if you're doing a T level, that's the only change. You might be 5 days when you're doing a placement, because you have to do a lot more work experience for T levels. So T levels, it's a bigger qualification, so you might be in college more. You will get your own timetable from the induction week, and then you'll be able to have a look, but I can't be any more sort of definitive than that, really.
Yeah. Right, we've got quite a lot of questions to get through, and we've got about 10 minutes left, so we're just going to we'll whip through these ones and make sure everybody's got all the information they need by the end of it. So somebody here, will we be given a tour of the college so we know where to go if we need help, or things like where to get lunch and stuff like that? So yeah, that's going to be all part of your induction. The tutors that are responsible for your course will make sure that you're really comfortable by the end of those 2 days, that you know where to go to get help. And there's lots of staff around, once you start the week after of the week of the 16th and the induction the week of the 9th of September, there'll be staff around, because we know that there will have so many new students. So you can just ask anybody. Members of staff wear these lovely orange lanyards. So you can ask us a question, ask people at reception, where do I find the toilets? Where do I find the canteen? All of those things. We're all there to help you. So, don't worry, you won't get lost. If I enroll, is my place guaranteed?
Yes.
Perfect. Short and sharp.
A place at the college. If you haven't got so if you enroll and you've got your grades, then absolutely that's fine. If you haven't got the grades that you needed and you haven't met the entry requirements, we can do something for you. You wouldn't necessarily be guaranteed a place on what you were offered on, because if you haven't met the entry requirements, we might need to think about an alternative. Like I said earlier, it might be that you have to do a level 2, for example, and not a level 3. So in most, in nearly all cases, in the straightforward cases, if you've come to us, you've put an application, you've been offered, you've met the entry requirements, you complete the enrolment, yes, you've got a place. If you come in and you've met the curriculum and they've signed your form and they've sent you up to enroll and you enroll, absolutely. So it'll be the ones where you haven't met the entry requirements. We can certainly find you a place, but it wouldn't necessarily be on your first choice.
Right. This is great, because people are really asking the sort of nitty-gritty questions now. So does every course need a laptop? What about students starting and needing a laptop?
We've got an awful lot of laptops here, so don't rush out and go and buy one. We've got, I don't know how many hundreds, but we've got laptop banks, I think they're called. So you can, once you've got your ID card, you can take out a laptop and borrow it for the day, I think it is, and then you put it back at the end of the day. Is that right?
Yeah, we do have some that are more kind of permanent loan as well. So again, that's something we also encourage bring your own device. So if you have one, you are able to do that and log into the networks and whatever else. But as Rebecca says, don't go out and start panic buying laptops, because we have a solution within the college as well.
And our study centres, which we call them study centres, they were called libraries, but then not so many people use books anymore. But we've got loads and loads of computers and stuff in there, so people can go up there.
And loads of books as well.
Well, we've got some books. We have got books. Seem to have a lot more computers than books. But anyway, we've got a lot of computers, so people can use those. But yeah, we can you don't rush out and go and buy an expensive laptop.
We have laptops you can borrow, or we have different laptop schemes. So again, another query, I can answer this one, about somebody from living outside the UK, so doesn't have GCSE grade. Should I book on an advisory day? Yeah, absolutely. Book on an advisory day, come and speak to us, and then the careers team will be able to map what your qualifications are from your home country with what they would be the equivalent of a GCSE. Is that right, Kay?
Yeah, if did you say they live outside of the UK now, or?
I'm assuming they're here now, but their grades were from.
Yeah, so just to say, if you are an adult and you live outside of the UK, then we may not have the funding for you. So you would definitely need to come and talk to us, because you need to be living here now. And if you're an adult, if you're 19 plus, you have to have been living here for a certain amount of time. But so definitely come and have a chat. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm just making sure I can see people have been typing answers in here. So thanks, Steph and Claire. So yeah, if you've asked a question, just see if we've given you a typed answer. Most of the answers to most of the questions are going to be, this is where you find information about advisory days on our website. Yeah, books come on, and also information about kits, start dates and everything else is on our next steps page. So yeah, go to mkcollege.ac.uk/next steps and there's information there. What do I do if I've applied with my results and have been offered a place without having an interview and haven't been sent any other information on what to do next? What does anybody able to answer that one?
Put an application, did you say?
Yeah, they've applied with their results with their results already. So they've obviously
I would contact the admissions team and then they can look up their record and see what's happened. Sometimes just to say that your emails might go into your spam. That does happen. The junk, you know, sometimes it's worth checking junk because we've been sending out quite a few bits and pieces of information. So sometimes it can go into junk, and sometimes the contact details we've got are your school email addresses.
Yeah.
And so of course you're busy getting all those in your school account and you might have been locked out of them now. So if you think that might have happened, contact the admissions team and we can get the right email in there for you. Or it just might be that we've got the wrong email. That's the other thing. So contact the admissions team, they can look up your record.
We try not to send out information that's like too much, but if also the other thing to check is that if you've unsubscribed from our emails because you're like, I'm having my summer off, I don't want to think about college or school or anything, and then you've unsubscribed, then again you're not going to be getting our emails. So in that case you're going to need to contact us again and ask to be put back on that list because you'll be missing out. So just wrapping up a few questions here. So about I think people have typed in the answers here, so I don't need to do this. Yeah, you will get sent an email if you've applied and so that you can enroll online on results day. Somebody's asked here a really good question. If I book an advisory day and then I don't need it anymore, can I cancel it? Yes, absolutely. Please do. If you think you've booked on an advisory day and you no longer need it, please cancel it because we don't want to have no-shows. As you know, things happen, you might not be able to turn up, but because our staff are all in and we know that there's lots of people who really will need to come in for an advisory day. So yeah, if you don't need it anymore, then please cancel it. Just make sure there's anyone here. Sorry about this. Yeah. I think we've got all the ones answered here. Somebody's asking here about whether they can do an apprenticeship where they come into college for 3 days and then in the salon for 2. The apprenticeship sort of timetable and format is set because you have to do the learning in the college. So the days that you come into college, and then you're going to go and practice those skills in the, well, if you're going to do hairdressing or beauty, whatever, in the salon after that. So it's not a case of us saying it. We work with the employers and work out. So yeah, you can't say I only want to do 2 days working and 3 days college. It doesn't really work like that. If that's the kind of format you want to do, you might be better off signing up for a hairdressing course and getting a job in a salon yourself on the other days rather than the apprenticeship route. That might be better for you. Steph, do you feel like there's any major questions that I've missed out? Don't think so. So we're about to finish now, so I'm just going to wrap up. So hopefully this has answered all the main questions that people have had. The things to reiterate is have a look on our Next Steps website. We've got live chat as well on our website. So if you've got a question that you want to have answered, then that would be another way of getting in touch with us. But our Next Steps website, we've put it in the chat here, but it's mkcollege.ac.uk/next steps. If you have applied to us, you'll have been sent that as well. So look in your inbox. Look in your inbox as well for emails from us. Check your junk mail. Like Kay said, if you registered when you applied with us and you use your school email address and you're not going to have access to that anymore, then please contact us to let us know that we need to update your details. So set yourself up a Gmail account or something if you haven't, if you have only got a school email address so that we can get in touch with you. If you want to come in to chat with us for any reason, you can book in on an advisory day. Those are available from the afternoon of results day, so from this Thursday the 22nd, and they're available until Tuesday the 3rd of September. We've got evening sessions, we've got sessions all through the day, so you know, book on a time that suits you. If you're enrolling online and you don't need to come in for an advisory day, somebody from that course area that you've enrolled with is going to call you back or contact you in some way. So please make sure you pick up your messages and you call them back or get in touch with them, because they really want to talk about your results and make sure that you're on the right level for you and that you're happy with everything. Induction sessions, when you're going to come in, you're going to get your ID, you're going to get your timetable, you're going to meet your tutors, are happening from Monday the 9th of September. If you look on that next steps page, it will tell you exactly which 2 days you're coming in that week. And then the week after is when you'll start your timetabled learning sessions. If you need support, please tell us. You could put that in your application form. You could email I need support. You could tell your tutor when you come in for induction days, but just please tell us, because then that will get to somebody in Amy's team and then we can make sure you get the right support you need. Finally, good luck with everything. We really hope it goes brilliantly, but if it doesn't, then please don't panic. And we're really looking forward to seeing you in September. So all the best with everything. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.